Swerve Strickland is your first Black AEW World Champion, but he's not mine. Okay, maybe he kind of is, but we're not celebrating Swerve's patronizing win over Samoa Joe on this app because we can read the writing on the wall, and that writing says, nigga please. Not all Black history is created equal, and today we're going to talk about why Swerve Strickland's world title win is strictly transitional, why AEW's ecosystem is built for Black maintenance, not Black excellence, and why AEW is full of shit, because Swerve is going to drop that title by the end of the summer for the white boy AEW is really invested in. Subscribe in Swahili. Swerve beat Samoa Joe at AEW Dynasty to become its first African-American world champion. You can tell how comfortable an organization is with Black history because the ones that aren't call it African-American history, as opposed to when WWE finally leaned into the culture when Michael Cole talked about the first 2 Black women to main event to WrestleMania, nigga. That's when WWE went from patting itself on the back for helping these African-Americans to embracing Black culture, something AEW isn't even close to doing. I don't care how much that belt smells like cocoa butter right now. In fact, Swerve winning the AEW world title isn't AEW making Black history as much as it's AEW setting up for its white future. By the way, white future would be the name of Future's love child if his 9th baby mama was a snow bunny. Anyway, AEW, all elite white people, is not ready for a transcended white pillar to be world champion right now. It's in a transitional phase until things get back to normal. So in the meantime, the AEW world title's babysitter is its Black uncle by marriage. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but AEW has quietly replaced Sammy Guevara with Will Ospreay as its 4th pillar. But Ospreay isn't gonna just win the crown jewel on a rando pay-per-view like some British African-American. Ospreay's world title win will be gift-wrapped in his home country of London at Wembley Stadium.
Going in, we both thought, well, this is so obvious of what you should do. Sort of like Will winning in Wembley. It's so obvious, so just do it.
Yeah, Tony, just do it. Because now that CM Punk is no longer in charge of AEW, telling Tony Khan how to book his own product is Dave Meltzer's job, God help us. AEW is literally gonna go all in with Will Ospreay as its next great white hope. And in the time being, they're just gonna piece together a semblance of a world title reign with Swerve, who should be the guy in AEW. Unfortunately, AEW is a Dave Meltzer company. Tony Khan is a Dave Meltzer supermark, and what Dave wants in AEW, Dave gets. Hell, despite the Black history that was made, aging Dave Meltzer spent the first 5 minutes of his podcast raving about Ospreay and Danielson, whose skin is the same color as the inside of Dave's shorts when that match started. It reminded me of when it was Black History Month, and all Dave had to say about Black history and wrestling the entire month was, "We'll see for yourself." February is Black History Month, so here's every single word written this month in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. All 140,000 words. Let's see how many times this unbiased journalist with his unbiased agenda wrote about Black history. Let's try the word Black History Month. Nope. Black people? No. Black wrestler? No. African? Nope. Not one single solitary word about the culture during February. See, this is what marginalization looks like, by the way. But Dave is from a different time, so God forbid, let's try colored. No, thank God. Blacks? Negro? 9 times the Oh, he's talking about luchadors. He meant negro. Let's try Negroes. No. Darkies? What about niggas? Yeah, that better not be in the motherfucking Observer. So this man wrote over 140,000 words during Black History Month without once bothering to talk about Black history. AEW should be appealing to Black culture. No, not for diversity and inclusion or to be fair or any of that bullshit. This is a wrestling business. I'm not here to make friends or make fair. I'm here to make money. And in the world of entertainment, Black means green. AEW is better off doubling down on Swerve Strickland and building this promotion around his strengths as a cool Black man who can help tap into a whole new audience of casuals, young people, and women. But that's not what's happening here. Swerve Strickland is merely a placeholder and a race holder. AEW has now checked the black box, and during a time where all its white top stars are healing from injury or on their way back, Swerve is a warm black body to hold the world title until Will Ospreay is ready for his coronation. Shit, AEW didn't even pretend to waste time or money on fireworks for Strickland. They're saving that pyro for Wembley. A lot of people, including Swerve, are comparing Swerve's world title win to Kofi Mania, because of course they are. There have been so few black men with dreads to win a world title, what else are you going to compare this to? But you know what? This is exactly like Kofi Mania. With Kofi, there was a grassroots movement where fans organically got behind Kofi Kingston so strongly that it led to him becoming WWE champion. When Kofi won, he was a glimmer of hope. WWE had a chance to not only crown a black world champion, but set him up for success. Sadly, that all came crashing down when Brock Lesnar squashed Kofi on the first SmackDown on Fox. With Swerve, this is the exact same situation, except without the hope. We could all see the end of Swerve's title reign from the second it began. And just like WWE went with Brock to kick off a new era on Fox, AEW is going to hitch its wagon to Will Ospreay in the midst of its own television deal. Assuming that's still happening. Who knows? The way they're going, maybe AEW will strike a TV deal with Fox News. Swerve Strickland is the AEW World Champion the way Steve Wilkes was the interim head coach of the Carolina Panthers before they went back to hiring white boys to fail all over again. Word to Frank Reich. Jesus, if you're white and you want to be a millionaire on the basis of pure failure, go coach in the NFL. It's millions of Yakubian coaches who made millions despite losing by the millions. Get it how you live. And just like NFL teams use black interim coaches to clean up their messes before reinvesting in white, AEW is allowing Swerve to borrow its world championship before the promotion gets back to full caucasity. Because barring injury, Swerve may have won the strap on Sunday, but AEW is setting up for a Will Ospreay Dynasty. Swerve is a living embodiment of when people try to argue that America isn't a racist country because they elected a black president, only for that same country to turn around and be on the verge of making the Donald King for a second time. Get it how you live. Swerve is basically Barack Hussein Obama. And as much as I love Obama and everything he stands for, voting for a half-black man to lead a white country doesn't cure racism the same way booking a black man in a half-hearted world title run won't make this white company cool. By the way, it's an election year, and my new favorite way to read news is through ground news. With ground news, you can compare headlines and stories based on media bias and find out just how much a news site leans left, right, or center. They should invent this service for wrestling news bias one day. But point is, I love this service so much, I personally reached out, they became today's partner, and now you'll love them too. I don't give a fuck who has the belt in Jacksonville. This is the same incel sanctuary of a company with the same hardcore wrestling principles that will keep it on the outskirts of mainstream wrestling, all while appealing to a niche audience. NXT is doing the exact same thing, but the opposite way. Trick Williams is a Swerve Strickland in his scenario to Ilja Dragunov's Will Ospreay. God love Ilja, but he's a wrestling-ass wrestler. And that'll only get you so far in WWE where people actually watch, and where Trick Williams is on the verge of becoming the next in a long line of black NXT World Champions. Black history, it's about to be Black Groundhog's Day in the CWC. This time in a few years, Trick might be the next Rock, and Ilja Dragunov will still be a wrestling-ass wrestler. This time in a few years, Swerve might be the next Future, and Will Ospreay will still be a wrestling-ass wrestler. The difference is WWE realizes the value of Trick Williams' mainstream star power, and they'll probably, hopefully, reward him with a world title win on Tuesday. AEW and Tony Khan are too afraid of pissing off Dave Meltzer and its subredditor of a following to ever go all in with the cooler Swerve Strickland despite his crossover appeal. Crossover appeal hurts you in AEW, by the way. In fact, let's do a quick roll call of all the stars who had transcendent talent in AEW. CM Punk got ran out of Jacksonville, now he's running up the score. Jade Cargill ran out of Jacksonville, now she's running up the score. Cody Rhodes ran out of Jacksonville, now he has the most important title on the planet and has carried WWE for 3 WrestleManias and counting. But are we asking the important questions here? How many stars is that worth? Swerve winning the AEW World Championship reminds me of the joke that made me fall in love with stand-up comedy. It was a joke by Chris Rock, the second greatest comic in history now that I'm doing stand-up. Like me, Rock grew up in a white town, and he said there are 2 types of malls: the mall white people go to and the mall white people used to go to. Basically, the mall white people go to gets all the resources and is always clean and has all the newest stores. But the mall that white people used to go to is one that the city gave up on, and it doesn't get the same resources. I hate to admit this, but right now, the AEW World Championship is being booked as the belt that the white people used to win. It just doesn't feel as important right now, which is why AEW is so comfortable loaning it to a black man. MJF is hurt, Kenny Omega's hurt, Jungle Boy just came back. AEW is coming out of its darkest day in history after deciding to work itself into a shoot and air the CM Punk Brawl-In footage in reaction to a podcast. AEW's attendance is down. Its viewership is almost as bad as any time Trevor Dame tries to talk about TNA. No, Trevor, you're not entertaining enough to make vintage TNA talk a thing. In other words, Trevor, shut your hoe ass up and make some tweets, nigga. With AEW cratering, that means they're letting the Samoan guy and the black guy win the world title until they can figure things out. But when Kenny comes back, when Jack Perry heats up, when MJF comes back, when AEW goes to Wembley and it's back to full caucasity, every drop of cocoa butter on that belt will be scrubbed off in favor of some chips and fish grease. Just you watch. I'll bet you the AEW World Tag titles will be booked stronger than the AEW World Championship now that the Young Bucks have those belts in addition to the new and improved Elite with Okada, Perry, and probably Hangman Adam Page. Remember, this is a Dave Meltzer company whose preferences are closer to David Duke than Dave Chappelle. Swerve Strickland is being set up for failure, which could have been avoided if AEW wanted to. Because for about a year now, Swerve has been vowing to become the first black AEW World Champion. There's an actual story behind this win, but is AEW supporting this year-long story by setting up a murderer's row of heels for Strickland now that he's champion? Can you name one heel not named Hangman Adam Page who's ready and waiting for Swerve the way a sea of heels will be ready and waiting for Will Ospreay 4 months from now when it's his time, when they set him up for success?
Ospreay needs to win the championship in London, but you need to have contenders after London, or else you finish the story, and then what are you going to do?
In WWE, they knew where they were going with Cody Rhodes' story, documentary dropping soon. So by the time Cody won, he now has an embarrassment of riches when it comes to villains to work with. Gunther went undefeated and just suffered his first loss. WWE can also call back to the 2023 Royal Rumble when both were in the final two. Drew McIntyre literally beat Cody Rhodes leading up to WrestleMania. Solo Sikoa is a rogue tribal chief and played a role in 2 of Cody's rare pinfall losses. Bronson Reed is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winner. Seth Rollins can return from injury and challenge Cody for the title as payback for helping him win the damn thing. It could also play into the long-term story that Seth has never beat Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns versus Cody in a rubber match can be done at any time. AJ Styles is the current #1 contender. Unless we forget the final boss, Cody Rhodes is finna be booked and busy between now and WrestleMania. But Swerve Strickland doesn't have any semblance of an up between now and Double or Nothing. AEW has been telling its grandstanding African-American history story for a year now, so they've had plenty of time to set up challengers for Swerve. But did they? Or are they just waiting until now to do that so that they can have a strong stable of challengers for Will Ospreay by the time he wins and the AEW World title counts again? They're full of shit. I'm not playing this game where I'm just gonna be fooled into thinking AEW is invested in black culture because they put their big belt on a black body. I'm not like these gullible white liberals and even some black people who are content with black history for the sake of black history. I can see the forest through the trees, the branch, and the blood on the leaves, and Swerve Strickland's world title win comes with an expiration date that won't see the end of August. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Check out this playlist with black-ass bits and subscribe, just in time for the Cody doc to drop. You're not gonna wanna miss it. Do you have faith in a good faith world title run for Swerve, or is he just a race holder in AEW? Tell me in the comments!